Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. I'm going to hook you guys up with 7 batter props. I'm also going to hook you up with 1 play in basketball. I'm going to quickly talk about what happened yesterday. These Bengals idiots it all up. It's like they gave up in the fourth quarter, which messed up a lot of my parlays. So I'm going to explain how I come up with these things and the notes that I take and things like that, so that you can understand how a professional thinks as well. So I'm gonna get right to it. Let me show you some stuff here first. And like I said, it's going to be 7 batter props as well as play in basketball. Now, because basketball is so early in the season, I'm doing very small units. So just be careful with that until they have about 10 games in is when we kind of start getting more data. So you want to be very careful with these plays, even though I'm throwing them out there. Just make sure that you're taking them at small units. Right now, I'm currently doing like 10th unit and sometimes 1/4 unit. I'm not throwing a lot of money on these. Any NFL games. I don't have anything for today's NFL. I got burned yesterday, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about and the notes that I took because of this. So let me just kind of get right to it. So yesterday I was with my brother and took my wife and my daughter and my brother's wife went skydiving. So we were watching them skydive as we're watching the games. And I remember clearly saying, like, if these Bengals fuck this up today, I'm going to get burned. And I already knew that was a big risk, because that's one of my learning thing for today or yesterday was that if you throw too many plays on one team, you're bound to get burned. And that's exactly what happened. I said, there is no way that the Bengals are going to lose to the Jets. And sure enough, they lost. And the problem was that it was like $150, which to me is 3 units riding on the Bengals. So that's, to me, again, it's too much shit. Too much of a risk to have on one team. But check this out. Let me see. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this. But
the Bengals should have improved to 4-4 today. They should have gotten back to 500. They should have won back-to-back games and improved to 2-1 with Joe Flacco as their starting quarterback. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapine here at Paycor Stadium, where, the Bengals were embarrassed. And they were embarrassed by a now 1-7 New York Jets team who was victorious.
Anyways, this guy's one of the main guys that talks about Bengals every single day. And he's saying that they got embarrassed. I had the score up here. I don't know. In the fourth quarter with 10 minutes left, they were up by 16 points. And these came back, being the Jets 0-6. So again, it was a stupid loss, embarrassment. I ended up killing my 3 units. So it was a bad day because of that. Anyways, let me give you some value now. So here, check this out for baseball. Here's some active streaks. Do not quote me on these. These are just active streaks. What this means is that these are not our final plays. These are just players that have gotten a lot of hits lately. So Ernie Clements, I'm not going to go through every single one. If you want to take screenshots, go ahead. As you can see, there's not much. There's only a few players there. But then the shots on goal as well, there's only a few games. I think it's only like 2 games. So check this out. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can take a screenshot if you want those. I've been hitting very well with the shots on goal. What I've been doing is I did a whole video on this. So basically, if a player is supposed to get 3 shots on goal, I actually buy it back to 2 shots on goal. But there's a lot of stuff that goes behind it. I did a whole video on that, and it's been hitting very well. I don't have any today because there's only 2 games, but I've been hitting well with those. So if you see those come up, you should hammer those. All right, the first game I'm going to look at here. Again, do not take these at regular unit sizes. You might want to do half units or 1/4 units. I'm doing them at a very small unit, especially because it's so early in the season. Okay. Now, let me tell you exactly why I like this team here. So the 76ers are going against the Magic. They started, you can see the opening line right there at a +1.5, and now it's currently at a -5. What that means is that they shifted from an underdog at 2 points, and now it shifted all the way to -5. So they went from underdog to favorite, plus it's a 7-point shift. That's a huge shift. And what's even crazier is the money and the percentage is on the opposite side. So what this means is that it's a reverse line move. And that's very heavy, especially moving 7 points. That's a big deal. Now, the reason I think that happened, you can see right here at the bottom, it says that the 76ers, they're missing right there. Embiid is the big one. Paul George is the big one. So they have 5 players out. 2 of them being huge deals, Embiid and George. So that's one of the major reasons I believe that the line shifted so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Orlando Magic. I'm going to take them on the money line because I don't want to risk it again with the spread. The spread is like -5, like I showed you. I think it even went up to a -6 now. So what I'm doing is I'm taking it back to the money line. I'm paying the juice. Again, I'm taking it at a small unit because of the reason, all as I said already. I'm going to hook you guys up also with some player props, points, rebounds, and assists. All right. So here's the first one, Josh Giddey. So just so you know, what I do with these is, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. What I do here is I look at the best players that have gotten at least 60% hit rate on the last 5 games. You can see here this guy has hit. They've only 2 games over here, so he's hit this twice already. And then I look at the defense, like his position. So you can see point guard. I'm going to go to point guard over here, and you can see 10th rank, and 15th rank. I'm not going to get into every single detail, but there's a here. You can see the points, how many chances he's had to do that, rebounds, how many minutes he plays, how many field goals, 3-pointers. Again, it gives you all the data you need there. Also, one thing I look at, but I don't take this very heavily, is the other point guards. Okay, so what point guards that have played this defense, what they have done. So if you see here, it's 40 red, green, red. The problem here, again, the point guards on other teams are not scoring or not hitting their lines. However, you also have to consider, that's why I don't take this too crazy either, because, for example, you can see Shea Alexander, he hit 40 PRA, points, rebounds, and assists, and he still didn't hit this line. So his line was 45. He did not hit this line. But then you go to Trey Jones, he's got 7. So again, there's too many factors that come into play here. So this, you have to take it with a grain of salt, okay? The big one is the defense against the position right here, and then the last 5 games, what they've done, and then how many minutes they play. So you can see this guy plays a lot of minutes. So anyways, his line is actually like at 34. I bought it back 5 points. Then I'm going to parlay that with the next guy. Or, like I get like 7 guys right here today. The next one is Brandon Ingram, the Raptors. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, again, his position is strong forward. You can see now over here it all turned green, 25th, 29th, and 21st. So all the defense sucks against this guy, against this position completely. All right, I'm not going to get into all the details there, but I'm going to give you the rest of them here. So the first one, again, is Josh Giddey. One is Brandon Ingram. Take note of the number. So Josh Giddey over 29.5. This is for the points, rebounds, and assists. So PRAs. Brandon Ingram over 25 or over 24.5. Points, rebounds, and assists. Brandon Ingram from the Houston Rockets. Sengun over 30, over 29.5. Desmond Bane from the Magic over 20 points, rebounds, and assists. Scotty Barnes over 24.5 from the Raptors. Kyle Filipowski over 14.5 from the Jazz. And then Jalen Suggs over 9.5. So there you go. Seven batter props. I'm sorry, not bad. I'm so used to baseball. These are NBA PRA props. Okay. So again, like I said, I mentioned, I get their the current line. I look to make sure they've hit this. I also make sure that they have a lot of minutes on the court. Plus, I look at the defense. If you look at every single one of these players that I showed, you can see the stats. The defense against him. It's all horrible defense. That's how I come up with these. I'm going to go one more time. Jalen Suggs from the Magic over 10. Filipowski over 15 from the Jazz. Barnes over 25 or 24.5 from Raptors. Bane from the over 20 from Magic. Sengun from the Rockets over 30. Ingram 25 from the Raptors, and then Giddey from the Bulls over 30. Then I'm taking the money line on the Magic as well. Julio, I wanted to answer this question. I could take a quick look at the numbers here, see what it's looking like. I don't know which game you're talking about, though. Are you talking about the Bulls? I don't know. So let me look up the Magic, because I think that's what I was talking about when you asked, and I'll just tell you what the numbers are for the over-unders. So the line started at a 223. It's now at 226. 95% of the money is coming in on the over. So it started at 223. Now it's 226. So the line shifted up, plus 95% of the money and the bets is coming in on the over. So you want to check that out. I'm not touching that. There's too many things you have to look at, which I'm not going to do right now. But that's what it is right now. Let me show you real quick. Last thing I'll show you is this is what happened yesterday. I had the Colts at a -6.5, the Texans at a +7.5. That hit. Also, you can see how crazy this was. I had the Texans that they could lose by 8. They ended up winning by 11. And then I had the Colts to win by 7. They won by, 31. Okay, so I hit that one. And then these are the points, rebounds, and assists. As you can see, this is exactly what I was just talking about, and I parlayed them together. That hit. That's another one for Giannis. He hit at a 45. Then I had 2 overs. Yesterday I bought them back as a teaser. So I bought these back to 10 points, and then these 10 points, and then that hit. And then another one, PJ Washington on the PRAs. And then the last one is I caught this one live during the week when the Blue Jays were down. They were going against Seattle, and they were down by 3 or 2 runs or something. I was able to get a plus 3.5, and then I put it with the Bills, and that came through. And then I also had the Spurs at a minus 2.5 yesterday. I really liked the Spurs. They ended up winning by 11. I needed them to win by 3. And then I took them to Patriots, which the Patriots demolished. I also had the Patriots on with the Bengals, which, like I said, the Bengals killed it. And that's about it, guys. So it was a bad day yesterday overall. I did lose like 4 units, I believe. And it was all because of the Bengals. And my learning experience, again, is I always write notes on why the stuff lost. And it's because I put too many eggs in one basket of the Bengals. I should have either picked team to as a parlay piece. I hope that makes sense. And like I said, I'm taking the Magic and then the seven player props that I gave. Oh, sorry. Last thing, if you guys want access to the Discord, I'm doing it for 30 days for free. Click on the link in the description on this live video, and you'll see. If you don't see it there for whatever reason, send me a text message and say, hey, I want the 30 days for free on the Discord. And like I said, it's 30 days for free. Send me a text if you don't see it. If you do see it here on this live, then you can just click on the link and then it'll work. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you all. Let's have another great day. Again, you don't always win. I don't always win. I don't ever claim that I always win. Anybody that tells you that they win every day is bullshitting you. I'll tell you straight up if I'm winning or if I'm losing. So yesterday was very bad. Saturday was decent. Friday, and I've showed, if you look at all my videos, I show the proof of every day. And yesterday was not a good day. So anyways, I'm going to be a little more careful with NFL. I know I've said that in other videos, but I'm going to be a lot more careful now because some bullshit does happen in the NFL specifically. So, all right, guys, thank you so much, man. Let's have a great day.